Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. Tonight we're going to make a roast gnocchi, just throwing together a quick dinner to get it in the oven and get dinner ready. Mostly because I have a lot of things that I need to use up. So as you can probably see, my tomatoes here are getting to the end of their life. So I've just washed them and put them on a sheet pan. And we're going to chop up some extra little things to toss in with it. So the first thing I've got is about 1.5 bell pepper that I'm going to just do some big chunks of to toss in the pan. Now we are using pre-packaged gnocchi. There are some potato gnocchis or like some cheese gnocchis, just whatever you prefer. Tonight we're using a potato gnocchi because that's what Eleanor asked for. Now you can find this pre-packaged stuff in the pasta section of your grocery store. But we're just using 2 bell pepper. And you can really add whatever you want to this. It's just some roasted veggies and stuff that you can get in the pan and add some nutrients to your dish. So we're going to get this in some big chunks. And now this one is going to be a vegetarian dish, but you could easily add some sausage, some like smoked sausage or something to it to make it with meat. But this tonight's going to be a vegetarian meal. I also have some herbs and stuff that I need to use up before they go bad. I don't like wasting anything, especially if I spend the money on fresh herbs. I want to use them all up. So instead of me using my infamous Italian seasoning tonight, I'm going to use some thyme and rosemary. So I just have I have a few spring onions, but I'm going to cut up about 2 spring onions. You can probably hear my son. You could also use like a little purple onion or a yellow onion and just make some slices. For me, this is all for flavor because I don't eat raw onion. The only way I'll eat it is cooked. I just want this kind of spaced out. And it comes together very quickly, as you can see. You could use a bowl. I just didn't want to mess up another bowl or another dish. I'm trying to break the stem. But if you take the rosemary and pull it back or just strip it down from the stem, it'll pull straight off. I was trying to break it, but it's getting a little wimpy, so it didn't want to break. My hands are going to smell so good. They're going to smell like rosemary. Rosemary is one of my favorite herbs. We've got Eleanor hanging out over here to the side. We also have some thyme that, like I said, I need to use up. So I'm going to slide what I can, just pulling out some of the bigger woodsy parts of the thyme. But the rest of the stems we'll just toss up or chop up in there. So we're going to give this a little rough chop. Now you could use dried thyme, maybe even some garlic, dried rosemary, just whatever, or even just some Italian seasoning, whatever seasonings to your preference. This is very interchangeable. Like I said, I'm trying to use up a bunch of what I have because I don't want it to go bad. So to this, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. and my package of potato gnocchi. You want to come show them the face you're making? Yeah, come on, you can come show them. I think she likes this food. But these, you can boil them on the stovetop if you like, or they can just go in this pan and roast along with the rest of the veggies. So, we're going to just kind of space these out, break them all up, and we're going to use the whole package. She's over here still licking her lips. Ooh, run away, Gnocchi. That's it. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of toss these around. Oh, let's do a little bit of salt. We're going to toss this all around. And then at the very end, I'm going to mix in some pieces of kale just to give it some extra nutritional value. And again, trying to use up some extra things that I have in the fridge before they go bad. We buy a lot of vegetables and I menu plan, but at the same time, I buy extras so that we can have something spur of the moment. And that's how we end up, if we don't use them all up, how we end up with things. Oh, oven's preheated. Nope, the oven's preheated, baby. How we end up with things that we really need to use up quickly. So, I just have some kale that I've washed, and now I'm going to tear up some pieces and kind of scatter it around in here. I've also pulled the large stemmy pieces off of it. Yes, ma'am.
Can I help?
Mm-hmm. Go wash your hands.
Yeah.
So we're going to save some of this for her to tear up. Wash them well. We'll mix this around. I'm going to add in a little bit more olive oil. And this kale is going to be so good once it roasts a little bit. Nice and yummy. And those tomatoes, when they roast and they just burst open and you get all those yummy juices. Alright, you ready? Alright, I'm adding a little bit more olive oil for us. And
I thought it was
we're going to get you to tear. So we want to take them, and if they have that spiny hard piece, we're going to tear out that spiny hard piece, but don't tear them into little bitty pieces, just into like broccoli size pieces, okay?
I didn't know broccoli size.
You do know broccoli size like that. Whoa.
Got bigger.
And I'll be the stirrer, you be the tearer.
This looks like a little tree.
Yeah. Do you like all the colors? I do too. Oh, we need a little bit more on this
This is the
side.
only thing of what I really want.
What you want? The peppers? The orange peppers?
Yeah, I like orange.
I know.
You like the red, that she likes the yellow.
Mm-hmm. Alright, just a few more pieces and we'll be ready to put it in the oven. Okay, just a few more little pieces. There you go. Alright, one more. There you go. Perfect. Alright, so oven is preheated at 425. This is going to go in for about 15-20 minutes. We'll stir about halfway through and then we'll pull it out of the oven and we'll let y'all see. Alright y'all, so the food's out of the oven At the same time this was cooking, went ahead and made some delicata squash. Just put some of the same herbs, some olive oil, salt, and rosemary on it. So we're having that alongside just to add a little bit more to our roasted veggies. So you can hear that the kale crunched up nicely. You can see we got a little bit of a crust on some of these gnocchi, and the tomatoes and everything just softened and caramelized beautifully. So just to top this off and turn it just a little bit higher, amp it up just a little bit, and just sprinkle it with a little bit of cheese also. And dinner is done in like 15 minutes. Easy as that. We're going to serve it up. Need a little bit extra tomato. And there we have it. Very simple, very delicious, and the gnocchi isn't really low calorie, but a little bit healthier than one of our average meals. But hopefully this gave you some inspiration. Do a quick weeknight meal, maybe even a vegetarian night, maybe your meatless Mondays, or add some sausage in it and you don't have to be meatless at all. Hopefully you enjoy, and let us know if you give it a try. Bye.